Hey guys, what's going on? It's Ultimus, and I don't really want to make this video. Um, this was almost Saturday's video, but then rather than talk about it and give some 2 cents on it when it was fresh and heated in my mind, I wanted to give myself a couple days to kind of think it through and I guess gather my thoughts on the topic rather than just speak brashly and being more prone to speaking out of frustration and pure emotion. But then, so I figured if I gave myself a couple days, I could collect my thoughts more and speak a little more rationally, which is what I do my best to do. I hope you guys realize this when I give these sort of opinion videos. I do my best to constantly keep a level head and look at the big picture. I don't want to be that kind of guy that just goes full throttle one way or the other. I try my best to keep an open mind, look at the big picture, and see everything from as many perspectives as possible. But what I want to talk about today is may not directly necessarily have anything to do with you guys specifically, and I know this is going to be a very polarizing video. I don't expect this to be a very popular video. This video may not even get very many views, but I just want to get this out there. To be fair, we'll probably get more dislikes and negative comments than anything else, so I'm already prepared for it. But what I want to talk a little bit about is some things that you as viewers and myself as a viewer need to understand about some of our favorite YouTubers and streamers and the state of WoW and the community. Most so the community and YouTubers and streamers. It's become very popular since Cataclysm. Probably a little bit before then, but it's become very prominent. And it's only gotten worse since Cataclysm to bash on WoW and Blizzard. And it's gotten to the point now where you can't say anything good about WoW or good about Blizzard without being accused of being a fanboy, a sellout, or an idiot who doesn't think for themselves. Okay? I would beg to differ. A lot of the people, a lot of the YouTubers, and a lot of the streamers that you'll see that still have positive things to say about WoW still actually enjoy the game. And you might say, well, this because these people haven't been playing since vanilla, they don't understand, or they haven't been playing since the Burning Crusade, they don't understand. Well, I can tell you as someone who's been playing since vanilla that you're wrong. I still very much enjoy the game. That's not to say there are things that I wouldn't critique and don't critique. However, I think it is utterly ridiculous to go full ham and just continue bashing Blizzard and bashing the game and have only negative things to say about it. Because if that's the case, Mike, my question is always, why are you still subscribing? And some people will unsub from the game, and that's completely respectable. But my favorites are always the ones that have only negative things to say, but yet they still pay that $15 a month. Love it. I've been in a couple streams recently where people will ask the streamer what they think about WoW, and it's like everything's been divided into two camps now, and it's the most ridiculous thing ever. It's the dumbest thing. You have the Blizzard fanboys, and the people who have nothing nice to say are the WoW haters, the Blizzard haters. And it's the most ridiculous form of elitism. It's nothing but trouble. And here's my thought process on this. And again, I'm going to try to stick to the facts as best as possible. If I get a little heated and ranty, please do forgive me, but you've been warned. It just seems ridiculous and completely sundering, and it seems like it creates nothing but problems for the game as a whole to split that into two camps. You go into a stream or you go to someone's YouTube channel and you see that they have positive things to say about WoW. Oh, well, you're nothing but, a sponsored Blizzard person, and you're just afraid to say negative things about Blizzard and WoW because they pay your bills. And it's like, no. What you guys got to realize is a lot of your favorite YouTubers and streamers, they're YouTubers and streamers first. And a lot of us do this just for the fun of it. A lot of people are fortunate enough to be able to get this to a point where they can make their living off of this. Some of us just do it for the fun of it, because we enjoy it, because we love World of Warcraft, and we love sharing it with you guys, and we love sharing it with people who share that same passion. So it seems like the most ridiculous thing to me to split that into two camps. In the end, you know who loses when we split the community in half like that? The player does. The player loses out. Because I'm convinced that Blizzard looks at that, and anytime there's any kind of tournament going on, GCD specifically, I love watching those tournaments. Anything BlizzCon being streamed on Twitch, anything going on when it comes to forums, or just anything related to WoW, you look through the majority of comments going on through that, and it's all negative. It's all just the biggest heaps of crap. And Blizzard would look at that, and they'd say, everybody hates it. Why would we bother? What's so motivating about making a game or trying to make a game better for a community that hates it? It's gotten to the point where Blizzard can do nothing right. It's getting to the point to where no matter what changes they make, it will never be good enough. I'm not wrong. Like I feel as though we've gotten to this point to where, like, why would they bother trying to make the game better? It sucks that in the community's mind, you're either for Blizzard or against them, and suddenly there's become this us against them mentality, and again, in the end, the community loses. People like to go on and they like to say, well, WoW's not the same anymore. Well, yeah, that's what happens. Things change. I mean, it's like that person who's in their 20s, late 20s or early 30s, and they keep making references back to the good times of high school and how great high school was, and they wish they could go back. You can't. Those times were great for what they were. Enjoy them for what they were. But it's time to move on. People change. Things change. Now, I will say this. Not all change is good change. Okay? Some change and things that have been changed in World of Warcraft has not been changed for the better. I'm willing to admit that. I will be the first to tell you that. But I'm not going to be so brass and brazen as to jump on the bandwagon of saying Blizzard is a bunch of idiots. They don't know what they're doing. They don't care about this game. They're not dumb. And I've said it before, and that statement alone gets enough criticism on my videos. They're not dumb. They're a multi-billion-dollar company. At the end of the day, yeah, they're going to do what they think is best to make money. That's what companies do. That's what you're supposed to do as a company. You make money. And sure, maybe the player base seems like there's stuff that's done solely for the intent and purpose of making money. But that's what a company does. That's what happens. Vanilla was good for what it was. The Burning Crusade was good for what it was. Wrath of the Lich King was good for what it was. I even enjoyed Cataclysm for what it was. I didn't mind Mist of Pandaria. It got a little old really quickly, but I enjoyed it for what it was. Don't get me wrong, there were certain aspects of each of those points of the game that I didn't enjoy. But it wasn't enough to make me flip the table and be like, dang it, Blizzard, this is dumb. Now, if you're not enjoying the game, it might be time to move on. It happens. It's okay. I think what happens is a lot of times we're so attached to these fond, wonderful memories and we don't want to let them go, and I think we're scared to move on. But don't be so ridiculous as to suddenly break the WoW community up into two camps. All of a sudden, you're either for Blizzard or against them. I was hanging out in... if you don't know who he is one of my favorite streamers, but Chinglish TV. I was hanging out in his stream the other night, and he brought up a point. I think he said it wasn't even his originally. It was one of his subs, but they brought up the point, and I very much agree with it. And that point is, everyone likes to talk about how there's no more community in WoW. LFR and looking for group ruin the community in WoW. Possibly. I mean, there is that point. Yeah, sure, you can play the entire game just by queuing up in the middle of Orgrimmar or Stormwind or wherever your main hub is. I'm not the biggest fan of that. However, I think some things that need to be considered is the YouTube and Twitch community that goes on around WoW. You look at a WoW streamer and any of the top WoW streamers, and you look at how many people are in there talking about WoW at any one time. That's a WoW community in and of itself. Sure, it might not take place in game, but it's still a community of sorts, and that needs to be considered. A lot of times, the biggest problem with the WoW community, in all honesty, and I will stand by this until something changes, I think the biggest problem with WoW is the WoW community. Most people want stuff just handed to them. They're waiting for everybody else to invite them. They're waiting for everyone else to start the group. They're waiting for everybody else to put up the looking for group in the, you know, arena finder. They're waiting for someone else to invite them to do arenas instead of going out there, putting their name out there and saying, hey, I'm looking for a group. Everybody's so entitled. They want it all handed to them. Even the people complaining about vanilla WoW. They just sound like a bunch of entitled children. I understand missing vanilla WoW. It was a ton of fun. I have a lot of great memories there. Some of my best memories in WoW happened between vanilla and Cataclysm. Not gonna lie. But to sit around and demand that you get something back because you want it, that's a borderline temper tantrum. It just seems ridiculous to me. So why is it that we've come to this point where, as a player base, as a game, just because we don't get what we want, we kick and we scream and we whine, and all of a sudden everybody who still likes Blizzard and likes the game is a fanboy and a sellout, and everyone's convinced that just because they still like the game, it must be because they're afraid to piss Blizzard off. No. Sorry. If someone from Blizzard came up to me, and I guarantee you talk to a lot of your favorite streamers, they would probably tell you the same thing. They're not afraid to give Blizzard critique because in the end, I think we all want the same thing. And I think this is the most important note of this video. We all want the same thing. The people that are so upset about the state of the game are upset about the game because they love it so much. In the same regard as the people who still play and they still have positive things to say about the game because they love it so much. So instead of dividing ourselves into these two camps that are only going to split the game and hurt the game even more, it just doesn't make sense to me why it's so hard to come together and find positive things to say, but also constructive criticism. You've seen it over and over again on so many forum posts and Twitter responses. If you follow anything Blizzard related on Twitter, they want constructive feedback, and they've even laid out saying, hey, this is the kind of feedback we're looking for if you can give it to us in this format. That's pretty clear. I will say the one thing that Blizzard could do differently, and I know you could say only one, well sure, I could give you a list, but in regards to what we're talking about, I think it would be great if Blizzard would be willing to step back and openly talk about the different seasons and sessions of the game from Vanilla, Burning Crusade, Wrath of the Lich King, Cataclysm, Mist of Pandaria, WoD, and talk about all the things that they enjoyed. The systems that and the points that they thought worked really well. Maybe find ways to implement those back into the game. But we've come to a point in the game, too, where you got to realize there's a lot of systems and there's a lot of things that have been added that it's borderline Pandora's box, that these things have been implemented. They can't necessarily be taken out. And we're at this weird place. And I know this sounds very ranty. I hope this doesn't come across as very angry at all, because I'm not. Like I said, I really didn't even want to make this video. By the time I'm done recording this, I might decide not to do it and just throw it away anyways. But I'm trying to convey and hope to talk some reason and just kind of speak facts. It just kills me to see the player base of a game that I love so much, that has been such a huge part of my life, tear itself down the middle. It's literally almost like watching a family break apart, as dumb as that might sound. Maybe it's overdramatic. But I think it defeats the point of an MMO. At the end of the day, you can blame Blizzard for all you want for the breakdown of the community of WoW, but I think it really does fall on the community itself. If it was that important for the community of WoW to stick together and play together, it would. I don't know. Anyways, that's just about all I got for that. I hope that made sense, guys. Hopefully we can cut this down to be a little bit shorter to where it's not, a 20-minute video. But that's all I got. If there's ever a video you guys share, let it be this one. Like I said, I'm sure this won't get a ton of likes. I'm sure this won't be a very popular video. It is what it is. But that's just my 2 cents on it. I love the game. I want to see the game succeed. It's killing me that I'm not in Legion Alpha or Beta right now because I want to be able to partake in giving back that positive feedback. But I'll do what I can from here. But ultimately, I just want to see WoW get back to being a legitimate community. And by that, I really do feel like that rests more on the community's shoulders than Blizzard itself. So, I don't know. That's it from me, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you made it all the way through the video, kudos and props. I do appreciate it. Even if you hated it and think I'm an absolute idiot, thanks for sitting through it. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you have anything to say, I'd love to hear your 2 cents. But as always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you next time.